Hi, it's Tracy. Welcome back. This week we're going thrift shopping and we're going to start off in a town called East Grinstead. Now on the surface it just looks like a quiet little Sussex town, but there is a lot more going on. We're going to do a lot of shopping today, and not just in East Grinstead. I'm going to take you to some other places as well. Now here we have 7 charity shops, so we'll be having a good mooch around those. But first, let me give you a few facts about what has been called the strangest town in England. The Greenwich Meridian passes through the centre of the town and it's famous for its intersecting ley lines. The High Street has the longest run of 14th century buildings in the country. The town over the decades has attracted many religious groups. So the Church of Scientology has its UK headquarters here at St Hill Manor. Its founder, L. Ron Hubbard, used to live here. Tom Cruise is a regular visitor and in fact had a house here for 9 years and is often seen around. Aside from your regular Church of England and Roman Catholics, other religions that have made the town their home include the Mormons, Opus Dei, Jehovah's Witnesses, Christian Scientists, Quakers, Pagans, Wiccas, Spiritualists, Druids, just to name a few. UK viewers may recognise these 2 shops. They both appeared on the TV show Interior Design Masters. Led Zeppelin once owned a huge house here, and recently the singer Adele has moved to the town. 5 months before JF Kennedy was assassinated, he stayed here. Plastic surgery was pioneered here in the town in the local hospital, the Queen Victoria Hospital, treating badly damaged soldiers, airmen after the Second World War. And it was the forerunner to modern day cosmetic surgery, so it all started here. Now another Scientologist you may have heard of, John Travolta, he famously tried to unsuccessfully reserve a table for his entourage at the local Kentucky Fried Chicken. As they say, every day's a school day, and I bet that was a bunch of facts you weren't expecting. So let's get into these charity shops and start having a good old mooch around. I'm particularly on the lookout for anything that I can use in the upcoming autumn and Christmas decorating. And I was in this shop and I saw all these chandeliers with the crystals up there. I mean, they're not very expensive ones, but I did offer to buy them and they said no. They wanted to keep them as decoration for the shop. I thought, but you're a charity shop, you're meant to be raising funds for your charity. Hey ho. We're going to say goodbye to East Grinstead now, and we're going to pop over to my very favourite store, the Hospice in the Weald furniture shop. I rarely come away from here empty-handed. It's always got great stock. There are about half a dozen of these spread across Sussex and Kent, and then they also have numerous high street shops where they do the much smaller items. So I think after we've done this one we might go and maybe pop into another one. Oh, and it's also viewing day at the auctions, so I'll take you over there as well, so keep watching. How beautiful is this crown iron bed? It is just a beautiful piece of work. It's a single though, but wouldn't it be fabulous for a child's room? And it's priced at just £75. I mean, that is insane value for this quality of workmanship. And you just never know what you're going to find in here. Not quite my taste, but each to their own. Most of the charity shops around me test their electrical goods, so you know that when you're buying them, they are electrically safe. These would be great to do a makeover on for a small porch, so you could have them flat against the wall and then bring them together when you need to make a table, and for £5 each, bargain. This is very similar to the sofa that I use on the house veranda, and mine I've left to weather down, but this is how it started life. I just leave it outside, and over the years the lacquer that's on there is gradually fading away, just how I like it. Time to head over to the auctions. Now this is the day before the sale, this is viewing day. So I'm going to have a mooch around and see if there's anything I want to leave commission bids on. Now the first thing that caught my eye as I walked in was this. Oh hello my gorgeous big boy. These sometimes go for next to nothing. Other times they will go for hundreds and hundreds. It really just depends what's happening on the day. So I'm going to leave a cheeky £85 commission bid. I'm also going to leave a little 25 one on the bust. I'm sure they will go for much more, but I always think that it doesn't matter then how many of the lots that I get, because I know each one I will have got for an absolute bargain. This rustic wooden mirror caught my eye as well. It's a really good size, good weight, and all the glass is mottling. So I'm going to ask the auctioneer to bid up to £30 for me on that one. When I'm determining how much my bid is going to be, I always remember that I've got to factor in the auctioneer costs on top. Now you may be wondering why I don't just attend the auction. Well, I have not, in the nearly 3 decades I've been coming to this place, ever attended one of the auctions in person, because I know what I'm like and I would end up going crazy every single time, because if you're sat there and something's not been bid on, you think, oh, I could do something with that. No, much safer to leave commission bids, which I was going to do on these windows, and I completely forgot. I was getting carried away by the bins. You know, I'm a class act, I hang around bins. They often put stuff out there that you can literally just pick up and take away with you. This time I decided I'll leave it for somebody else. Now, let's head off to another hospice in the Weald and have a good old mooch around this one. Now this is an absolute beauty, but it is a high ticket item. Really unusual to see this in a charity shop, £350. I mean, that's wonderful. I do hope they sell it, because that will bring in some lovely funds for the charity, as would this old steamer chair. And have you seen the ticket price on that? Just a little bit too rich for me. This is more my price point. I also, when I'm in these shops, like to look at the baby section. Not that I'm broody or anything like that, but I think they make great planters, these baby cribs. Now, one last stop. This is not technically thrift shopping, but I'm passing a Homesense, and I always like to pop in and just check out their florals. Let's see what they've got. Well, that was a fun trip, lots to see there. And East Grinstead, how interesting. Just goes to show you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Shall we have a look at what I got? So the first item is the picture. And I bought it not for the delightful scene, but for the frame. Frames are really expensive. So to pick this up for £50, although that does initially sound like a lot of money, actually it's a bargain for a frame like this. Now, let me just turn this round. It's really heavy. You can see here, it's really well made. It's very clean. And my plan is to take this tape off, and we'll see how the actual canvas is attached, and then I'm going to separate the two. The frame I'm going to paint up. Quite how I'm going to paint it, I have not decided yet, but the canvas, I am going to paint that white, and then I've got a beautiful, good quality canvas that I can do a painting on. So we're going to stay with a big theme, And I went for the table, just £10 for this very solid, very heavy pine table. Now, I am going to get the sander on it and I'm going to strip it all the way back to the bare wood and then decide how I'm going to paint it from there, or wax it or oil it, or quite how I'm going to finish it. I am thinking that it would make a lovely coffee table for the cottage veranda. So I'm just going to pop this over here because it is very heavy as well. Let's have a look at the legs. Let me get the legs. So the legs I will do before I attach them to the table. I am going to reduce them down to sort of coffee table height and then strip them back completely. With the odd bit, I can do an experiment on different paint finishes, the bit that I cut off. And that's always the tip, you know, if you've got a spare bit of timber, if it's the exact same timber as what you're about to use, what you're about to paint, then have a little experiment, see what works, because different woods take different products in different ways. And because this is going to go out onto the cottage veranda, although it's not going to be completely exposed outside, it's not going to be hit with massive amounts of rain or cold, I am still going to use some exterior products on it. I'm going to make sure that it is protected for the outdoors. If it was oak, I wouldn't be so bothered, but because it is pine, pine will not last as well because it's a soft wood as opposed to oak, which is a hard wood. So yeah, this is going to get protected. Item number 3, I got the other frame as well. Well, I couldn't leave it behind, could I? £30 for this one. So I thought that one was a very good bargain. Same thing again, I'm going to take it apart, paint over this canvas, and then I can do something else on there. Although because we are also looking for things that I'm going to use in my autumnal styling, that has got lots of colours of autumn in. So I'm wondering if before I use it as another canvas to paint on, if I could actually incorporate this somewhere. I don't know yet, you'll have to wait and see. So again, same thing at the back here. Just going to take this tape off, work out how it's connected, and then pop them apart. So £80, 2 very big frames, and I may well style them together, but you'll have to stay tuned to find out how I do that. And it's another big item. This one was from the auctions, and it's the mirror. Oh, it is surprisingly and deceptively heavy, this. I think it's because on the back, it's actually got hardwood screwed in, keeping the glass in. I got this one for £25, the hammer came down at. So I was really pleased with that. And I love the way all the glass is mottling, the back is peeling off. I love the timber. I think, to be honest with this, I'm just going to give it a wash. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to it. Certainly not for the time being anyway. And that is definitely going to be making an appearance in the fall decorating. And here's the next item. I went for the lamp for just £20. So let's get the shade off and we'll have a look at what we've got going on here. I am probably going to do this without the shade. So I'm going to take this off, change the bulb, put a nice vintage, unusual one in. And the whole of this, I am actually going to do a paint effect on. I don't think it's worth stripping it all the way back. The amount of labour that is needed in a barley twist like this is a lot. Trust me, for sanding, I have done so many chairs over the years. This one will not take much time at all to do. I'm going to use different colours of chalk paint, distressing back. I think the top, I may well use wire all the way around. So the flex, let's just lift it up here. I'll do the cord, the wrapping that I do with the coir beam string, and then that'll get plugged in at the wall and it will be switched on and off from the wall, so I won't have to worry about the little clicky clack up here. I can cover all that up. So this is definitely going to get made over very soon, and this will be in the next episode. I have got a position in mind for this. Again, going into the change of the season, you need to start with switching lamps on and earlier in the day. And there's an area in the sitting room, our winter sitting room, that I've often wanted to put some lamp in there, but I didn't want it sat on the basket that we use as a side table. So this is going to be great because it can just slide in that area and just give that nice little bit of illumination between the two sofas. That's the cunning plan at this stage. Let's see if it actually transpires. And as for the shade, well, normally I take these things apart and then I wrap the whole framework, but this isn't constructed in that way. You could paint this if you wanted to have a shade. So use some watered down chalk paint and just do a few thin layers over, and you could easily change the color of that. This, I think, is going to end up in my storage shed, which I have actually coloured up. You know, I've been saying for the last few years, I'm going to paint these sheds. Well, I have finally done them, but I didn't film it because do you really just want to watch me stain 3 sheds? I don't think so. Anyway, so this is going to go down there because I may find a use for it at another time. Waste not, want not. I've got a £5 find for you now. The laundry basket. Isn't that fabulous for £5? I am planning on using that as a planter or for dried flowers or for some floral arrangement, possibly even on the kitchen table. So I want to do like a big statement thing with this. I've been cutting lots of grasses and hydrangeas and drying them in the big storage shed at the moment. So I'm planning on doing lots of big arrangements. So this one is going to get a really good clean because it is a bit grubby. I may lighten it slightly. We will see how it cleans up. But for £5, it's a really good, solid construction. There's nothing sort of falling apart. And I do have a little bit of a weakness for a basket. Do you? And as I do have a weakness for a basket, for £1, I could not let that stay there, could I? I had to bring it back. Again, I might change the colour, and there are different ways of changing the colour on baskets, which we will go through in the next episode when we do lots and lots of makeovers. I did say I had a weakness for baskets, didn't I? So we've got 5 here. We've got 4 of these for £1.49 each. And then we've got a bigger one, which was £2.99. Look at me reading that without my glasses on. Isn't that amazing? So yeah, lots of different things we can be doing with these. And these will definitely be making an appearance in the fall decorating. The basket addiction continues. So this is a picnic hamper. It's got the insulated bag here, so that's going to be useful. I didn't buy it for the bag, honestly. I bought it because for £9.99, look at the size of that. And I think these compartments are actually really useful because I'm thinking of using this again for a big arrangement. So you could pop in the dried flowers. It would help with the structure by having these compartments. As it is a picnic hamper, it's got a slight coat on it. So it's going to be certainly showerproof, if not weatherproof. I was also thinking if I pop some liner in, say next spring, I could put some bulbs in here, or I could put some herbs in and then use it outside as well. So I think this is going to be something that I can use for every season. Bargain. Next item, no more baskets, I promise. Right, this is a Thomas Plant vintage mixing bowl. So firstly, I love the size, I love the weight. I also love the colour, I love the tone of it. I love the fact that it's got one flat side here, so you can prop it on the work surface for when you're whisking. Isn't that fabulous? Now, this is in perfect condition, no chips, no cracks, £10, and I know that these sell for 4 times that amount of money. So I am very happy with that. I can see me doing lots of cakes, Christmas cake, Christmas pudding in a bowl this size. And particularly as we get into the autumn, the winter, I don't know about you, but I like to eat cake at that point in time. I don't eat so much in the spring and the summer. I don't really feel like cake. But yes, definitely come the autumn and winter. Yum, yum. Whilst we're on bowls, I've got a big one for you here. Now I've got to put my glass on so I can read the marks underneath. So this was just £2 because it has got a chip in it. But this is antique English porcelain, and it's by a company called Bishop and Stonia. And it has the Bisto mark on, and Bisto is the combination of their first letters of their names. Now, they were in business from 1891 to 1939, and this mark on here is the Wand of Caduceus mark. And the very small print number is CW276, so that's the pattern number. But as I say, it's got a big chunker out of it. So I think my regulars know what may be coming down the path for this one. And I think it could be my stone effect. The pattern I'm not massively enamoured with, quite frankly, so I think it is going to get my faux stone treatment, this one, and be used in the autumn decorating and filled with, don't know yet, have to stay and watch, won't you? I've got another bowl, this time a wooden bowl for just £7. Very heavy, good quality, a little bit dark for me, so I think I may well use the oven cleaner technique on this one just to strip off this dark colour. Probably do a little bit of a test area on the underneath first, because that oven cleaner doesn't work on absolutely everything. Different woods will react differently with it, as would different varnishings, different stains and so on. So we'll do a little test area and then see if we can lighten that up that way. If not, we could use some white wax and lighten it that way. But nice little bowl, and I think that is definitely going to be appearing in the styling that's coming up soon. I bought the curtains, £15. Now, they're in beautiful condition. There's not a mark on them, so I don't even know if they've been hung. They smell delightful. And the thing I love the most about them is the reverse of the fabric is as pretty as the front of the fabric, which is something I always look for, particularly when I'm going around the charity shops, the thrift stores, and I'm wanting to find fabric to make cushion covers out of. I look to see if the reverse is as nice as the top, because then you can make coordinating different covers. So this pattern, I think, is ideal for autumnal styling, to make some cushion covers for the cottage veranda, for the house veranda. What do you think? £15. It's almost like upholstery fabric. It's so thick, such good quality. Can't wait to get the sewing machine out for those. I was so excited when I spotted this £10 pot. The reason being is that I have got the big brothers of this, 2 of them. So this is going to be beautiful to style with its elder siblings. So yeah, £10, fabulous. Rolling pins, not 1 but 2, £2 each, and I do have a thing for rolling pins. What I'm probably going to do with these is what I've done with all the other ones that I've collected, is give them a sand down and then pop on some Osmo white oil stain, and then there is a top coat oil that I use to make them food safe, but I'm not going to be using them for food. They are purely decorative, so I'm going to lighten these and then add them to my other collection. As we popped into Homesense as well, I thought it'd be rude not to come away with just a couple of bits, so let me show you what I got. I got these cushions because they were reduced to, well, it worked out £10 per cushion, so £20 each for the pack. I don't know if the tassels are going to stay on, but I loved the colour. And I know I've been making my own cushion covers, or I've been taking old cushion covers and dyeing them, but those I tend to use outside. I wanted to bring a little bit more autumnal colour, maybe into the house. I'm thinking possibly the snug and/or winter sitting room with these, but we'll see how the decorating goes. I liked them, and also they are cotton, so if I tire of the colour, I can always dye them. Tassels, I'm not really a tassel girl, so I don't know whether they will make the final cut. We will have to see. Set of 4 placemats for £9.99. Now, I love the colour. They always work well with baskets, with the rustic styling that I do. I like the little green trim that will work with my outside and inside decor. I like to use them not necessarily to set a table, but to use them underneath candlesticks, lamps, vases, to layer up an area. So I picked up those as well. I love mixing real and faux, and we are not blessed with a lot of good faux in this country. So when you see some nice stuff, you've got to grab it quickly. So in Homesense, I found just 2 of these. If there were more, I would have bought more. They're lovely. I just love the colour in them, and I think I'm going to be able to work those in. I also grabbed these at £1.29 a stem. Again, something that I can easily work in with real, with dried, into the decorating this autumn. Now, whilst I was selecting these, I saw a lady who I recognised from working in there, and she's worked in Homesense for a long time. And I asked her why there was so little, particularly as we were coming into a season change. And the answer was that a lot of it is stuck in containers in the ocean. Shipping, particularly trying to get around the Middle East, is becoming a massive problem. So that's why there aren't a lot of florals and other things in Homesense in the UK at the moment. So don't hesitate, folks. If you see something that you like, jump on it, because there's not going to be a massive supply. I also picked up this garland for £14.99, which I thought would be really useful to work with some of the dried things that I'm doing at the moment. So maybe across the mantle in the snug. I recounted the Homesense shortage story to hubby, and he was passing a different Homesense at the time, so he popped in and FaceTimed me around, and we picked up, he did, I just guided a couple of other bits which I'm going to add to the decorating for autumn, and I might make some modifications to them. If you saw my decorating last year, you'll know I had a pink version of this and I changed the colours. So that's my haul. Join me next time for the makeovers. Take care.